On today's episode, we're talking power systems. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, Matt here for AVC and welcome back to the shop. Like we said in the intro, today we are talking power systems. And in our 2025 show van, that means we're talking EcoFlow Power Kit. Now this is one we've been holding off for a little while because we wanted to make sure everything was working well. And after about 6 months of using this van, we're pretty thrilled with it. So let's jump into the office. Let's talk about some of the key pieces of this system. Then we can see how we're using them here. We're here in the shop and on the table, we have our power kit system. So let's take a look at this Gen 1 power kit. So we have a 5 kilowatt battery. We have a Gen 1 power hub, we have a 30 amp distribution panel, and we have the touchscreen. This is what's known as an independence kit. So when you go online to order this from our website, this is the one you're going to be looking for. There are other options for different pieces of the system. This being a Gen 1, it has a Gen 1 power hub and a Gen 1 30 amp fuse panel or distribution panel. And then because it's a 5K kit, it's a 5 kilowatt battery. So there are a couple different size systems out there. You can get a 5 kilowatt, 10 kilowatt, and 15 kilowatt system, and that's just going to be 1, 2, or 3 of these batteries. Here in the shop, we've been using a 5 kilowatt system, and it's worked pretty well for us. A couple of builds have had 10 kilowatts worth of power, and everybody that we've installed these for has been pretty happy with them. I would recommend going for at least 5 kilowatts worth of power for a van. I think the smaller systems are just too small for a van, in all honesty. I think you're going to want to go with something this large or larger. Another thing to note about these batteries is they do have an internal heater. So the 5 kilowatt battery and the 2 kilowatt battery both have internal heaters for them, and they come on with temperature. So come winter time, you got to kind of pay attention to this system, make sure the heaters are coming on when you want them to, not coming on if you don't want them to, so that this thing isn't going to drain itself down while it's sitting in storage. So it's just something to be mindful of. Let's look at the Gen 1 power hub here next. Our Gen 1 power hub is going to do all of the converting and inverting for our system. So this is our 3600 watt inverter. It is our solar charge controller, it is our vehicle charge controller, DC to DC, and it is our shore power charge controller. So this is doing all of that converting and inverting here all in one system, which is super nice. It has 3 different inputs for power coming in through DC. So that's going to be our alternator input, and then we have 2 variables. We have a photovoltaic or alternator 2 and photovoltaic or alternator 3. So we could connect the alternator into all of these and have that much more power coming from our alternator system. Or we could have one of those set up for our alternator and then slot 2 and 3 set up for different photocell systems or solar panel systems. So maybe one of those systems is the panels on our roof of our van, and the second or the third slot or our second photovoltaic system is going to be for a deployable suitcase system, and maybe we put a port on the side of the van for that. So really versatile in that regard. Has a spot for alternating current input, so that's our shore power input. And then on the side it has our DC and our AC out, and those are going to feed over to our distribution panel. And the last item here, we have a 110 outlet right in the face. So if we have something really simple to power up and you're building a simple system in your van, you don't have to wire another outlet in there. You can just use this bad boy right here and power up whatever you need. Another nice thing about this system is if we're putting in just 10 kilowatts of power coming into here, we have a third spot here for our battery that we can use for something else. And this was one of the reasons we actually made it to the EcoFlow Power Kit. So I was apprehensive about getting into a system that's an all-in-one system that you're very much in their wheelhouse. You got to use their cables, you got to use their everything. But being able to run a 48 volt air conditioner on the roof was kind of that catalyst for us. So we've done 24 volt systems here in the shop, and I have to set up a converter to run our 12 volt systems and run 24 volt batteries, run a 24 volt AC. And it was a lot of extra wiring, and honestly, I just thought it was too complicated for what we needed to do. But this gives us all of that power without having to do any of that extra wiring. So it's super nice. There's a special plug that plugs into here and powers our AC directly from the batteries itself. So it's not converting anything like that. It's just running it from the raw power of the battery. It does track that power output, which is nice too. So we do get to see that power going out to the air conditioner. But we can run a 48 volt air conditioner with this. We can still run a 12 volt system in the van, and we can have 110 power coming from here. So it does a lot of things for us, and it's pretty cool for that. The next piece of the kit is going to be the distribution panel. Now, when I was getting into this system, I wasn't necessarily excited about the distribution panel, but after setting things up for about a year now, I love working with this panel because it's really easy here in the shop, and it's going to be really easy for you at home. So when we look inside this distribution panel, we can see that all of these are just Wago inputs. So we don't have to strip and crimp wire and put little ring terminals on and tie them into the screws and everything like that like we used to do. we can just lift these little orange levers, just like a Wago, insert the wire and clip it down, and it's good to go. So it's really fast to set this entire system up, both alternating current and direct current. Uses the same kind of Wago style connector. So it's really easy to put together a safe AC system in your van, as well as a safe low voltage system in your van. And it's all monitored. So every individual circuit is monitored. You can see how much power is going out of each circuit, which is really nice. And on the Gen 1 the Gen 1 fuse panel, or the 30 amp distribution panel, the first 6 circuits here on the low voltage side are going to be controlled from your touchscreen. So you can turn off those circuits on and off. The last 6 here, 7 through 12, are going to be always hot. So you want to keep that in mind when you're setting up circuits. I'll do things like USBs and my fridge from this side. So I can turn off my USBs if I don't want them bleeding power. And I can turn off my fridge if I want to leave the door cracked for a few days and defrost the freezer. Super nice to be able to do those kinds of things all from the touchscreen. Okay, and that leads me to the last piece of the kit, which is the touchscreen. So this we mount up in the inside of the van, and this is going to give us all of our metrics for solar coming in, DC power coming in from the alternator, how much power we're going out to all of our different systems. We can do updates from here. We can label circuits from here. We can do everything we need to all from this panel. Super user-friendly, and it's fairly accurate. We don't have to worry about changing individual settings for different batteries. I've been working with Victron for quite some time, and honestly, it got pretty tedious. Changing settings, making sure the updates didn't wipe out settings, making sure the percentage is accurate to all the other things. If you've worked with Victron stuff, or if you built your own system, you probably know getting all those systems just right is kind of a pain. And then every once in a while you'll go to an update and it'll wipe everything out. This, you don't have to worry about any of that. It's always good to go. And when it does updates, things work better, which is really nice. In addition to all of this, it does have a companion app for your phone. So all the things we can do on the touchscreen, we can do on our phone, which is really nice too. It's a little bit easier to label circuitry, things like that from the phone. So I do recommend getting that app for your phone. I also like to watch it while we're driving. I can pull it up and I can see how much power I'm sending from the alternator into the system. So it's nice that I can just look at the phone and see what everything's doing all at once. I can also turn circuits on and off from the phone too if I wanted to, but I haven't really needed that ability. Now that you see the parts of the system here on the table, let's go take a look in the van and see how we use them in our build out. Now that you understand the pieces of the system, let's see how we've put them into the van here. So this is part of our tailored aluminum cabinet program, and this is our EcoFlow 5K cabinet. So this one is designed around this system, and it's made specifically to house this level of system. If you want to expand your battery, we have additional modules, things like that, so you can do exactly that. But this one is kind of the minimum viable for us here at the shop, and it's working pretty well. So we've designed the 5K battery to sit right over the top of the wheel well. That keeps our weight centered over the wheels, so we're not hanging a bunch of weight out back or up front and adding weight load to the front of the vehicle. You can see the 5K kit is strapped down through the shelf in the cabinet. It's also bolted in back here to the wall of the van. So it's super secure in here, and that battery's not going anywhere. Then if we move forward, we can see the power hub. The power hub is through bolted top and bottom, and it sits here in the rear section with lots of airflow all around it. The back of the cabinet here has vents that are just passive vents right now, but if we wanted to put a computer fan on those or a thermostat controlled fan on there, we could do that, and that would give us active venting for this cabinet and just kind of refresh the power through here. I haven't seen any overheating issues all this summer, so I don't think it's something we necessarily need to worry about, at least for our build out. Down below the battery and in front of the wheel well is our fuse panel, and we use this in this location because we're limited on volume because of the wheel well right behind here, but this 30 amp panel fits perfectly right here. And so this is a really nice out of the way spot for this to live, but it's still pretty easily accessible if we need to change a fuse or throw a breaker. Another nice thing about this fuse panel being right in front of the wheel well is it keeps a lot of that wiring mess hidden in back here. So if I pulled this whole panel out and pulled it out of here, we have enough service loop on all those cable connections that we can pull the entire body out of here and get to it if we need to. But when it's plugged in and installed, all those wires are kind of tucked away, and it keeps that spaghetti mess from interfering with the rest of our build out. The only extra space in this cabinet I have is this little rear section here behind the wheel well and at the very back of the vehicle. And so I used this spot to add some extra circuit protections that we needed for this system. So I put a 30 amp breaker for our solar system up on the roof. I also put a 80 amp fuse for our ignition protection, our ignition system here. That's connecting up to our CCP, and that's charging as we drive down the road. So I wanted another fuse protection here before it goes into our main system. Underneath here, you can also see that we have our shore power connection. So this is our normal shore power plug that's coming through the wall of the van. I put just an extension cord outlet on here, and then that's our shore power connection. So pretty simple if we need to do that. There is some extra wiring here, and you'll notice that this is all the additional wiring that we ran for exterior lights. So if I wanted to add exterior lights, this is roof 1, 2, 3, 4. If you remember our pre-wire video, we pre-wired for all 4 corners of the van. But on my van, I haven't really had the need to add extra lights up there. But if I wanted to do that in the future, that extra wiring is here and it's tucked nicely back here. Now, when we do additional wiring, we use a secondary fuse panel. And so that's something I can bring from my circuit panel here. I can put that additional fuse panel back here. It's still accessible, nice and safe, protected from all of my cargo, and it'll stay nice and clean because all those wires will be tucked under here as well. All right, here at the fuse panel, you can kind of see how we've set our system up. So over here we have our AC breakers, and I'm only using 3 of these. I have my hot water system here, and that's actually turned off because I don't want to use the hot water right now. I have my induction cooktop, and then I have my kitchen outlet. I did pre-wire to the kid seat, and that one's off because I don't actually have an outlet over there because I haven't really needed it yet. We found that we really use the USB, but I don't plug in a laptop over there a whole lot. And then we have our low voltage circuits over here. So you can see my first 6 are those are going to be controlled through the app. So I can turn these circuits off if I need to. Things like my refrigerator and my water pump are nice to make sure I've turned them off so they can't come on. Or, you know, if I want to defrost the fridge, I can turn that circuit off. I'm not going to have the light on in the fridge, and I can leave that door cracked, which is super nice. Other things like my S-bar, maybe my 12-volt outlet and my fan are things that I don't really want to be turned off and on because I'm going to turn those off and on from the system, or from the individual unit rather. And so those don't need to be in this first 6. I have a couple additional circuits here available. If I need to add a circuit for that, it's available for me in the future, but it's a pretty simple van build in the grand scheme of things. And so we still have available circuits. When you are building your system, the EcoFlow Power Kit comes with this nice little chart, which is pretty sweet. It helps you keep track of everything as you're filling it out. So I have this filled out, and you can actually see it's almost a 1-for-1 size comparison of exactly what we're doing here. And it's pretty easy to put this system together. And then I just keep this card up here inside the cabinet. And that way, if I have a question about something, it's right there and available for me. So up here in the front of the van, up at our control panel, we have the touchscreen for that EcoFlow. And when we're looking at the touchscreen, we can kind of get a quick idea of everything that's going on with our system. We can see our battery system is currently at 23%, and we're plugged into shore power. We're charging at 1.4 kilowatts, and we have 3 hours to go until this system is fully charged. So if we click into this battery, we can see all of the batteries that we would have in our system. Since we only have one single battery, we only have one spot here filled with that battery. We can see the total system parameters, so we're 24 volts for the total system, and then we can look at one individual battery. We're charging at 27 amps at 53 volts. We can also see the temperature of that battery. We're at 75 degrees. So it's kind of our ambient temperature today, but if it was wintertime, we would see that, oh, this is too cold, and it would show us that it's heating. If we click back out, we can go into our inputs. At our inputs here, we can see all of the inputs that are available to us. We can see our alternator charging is activated, but it's not currently charging. We have 130 watts coming down from the solar on the roof, and then we're plugged into shore power, and we're charging at 1.3 kilowatts. So, at 115 volts, about 12 amps there. I set my limiting factor on my shore power to 12 amps, and that way we just keep everything nice and cool. I don't like to push the limits of my charging capabilities on those, so I'm well within safe limits for all the wiring that we put in there. We have one additional solar charging spot that's not filled, and that's the one we talked about. Oh, we could set that up for a remote suitcase. That's not how I use my van personally, but I have done that for customers. Okay. Then if we click out of the inputs and go into outputs, we can look here, we can see all of our AC outputs. I currently have our AC system off, but if I wanted to turn the inverter on, I just click that button and then we can listen for it. You can hear the induction cooktop fire up, and we can see that we have 1.7 watts on standby for that induction cooktop. So I could turn this on if I wanted to, but it's not gonna do anything because I don't have the right kind of pot on there. Okay. Then I can turn my AC circuits off. I can go into my DC circuits. So my DC circuits here, I have labeled lights, USB, things like that, which is pretty cool. And from here, just like I was talking about, I can turn these first 6 on. You can see there's no switches for the lower 6, but if I turn that off, boom, you can see the lights come off in the van. Same thing for the refrigerator. If I turn that refrigerator off, now when I open my fridge, oh, my lights aren't on, and I can crack this door and let the thing defrost. All right, so I wanna show you how easy it is to change the labeling on these. So if I just click into the input here, this is exactly where I can just wipe this out and I can label it. This is my passenger USB, and then click confirm. Then I can choose any one of these little icons that I want for one of my USB chargers. And let's go with maybe this speaker here. It'd be kind of cool if we had the option of loading some more icons into it. EcoFlow, if you're listening, that'd be a cool thing to add. Just a smattering of a few more icons so we can quickly see what we got going on here. And then here I can do this one too. My kid's USB, enter. and put the same icon on there. Boom, it's a speaker, but that'll be my symbol for USBs. And you can see that those are populated there. It's a cool way at a glance to see everything that's going on with my system all in one shot. And I can do all that stuff right here at this touchscreen. So the last thing I want to point out on this touchscreen is this gear icon in the top right corner. If we click into this, we can get a bunch of system settings on here. And this is going to be important because we're going to need to set up our Wi-Fi logins for this so we can get updates to the system. We can turn off and on our alarms if we don't want it to be alarmed. We can do our auto timeouts. The auto timeouts is going to be important so that this system doesn't power itself down too low. So a lot of times we'll set our AC timeout to 2 hours. If I forget to turn off my inverter on the system, it'll just turn itself off after 2 hours. The other I can do is my timeouts on my 12-volt system, and I set that one to 4 hours. I don't want this thing running forever by itself. So if it doesn't have an active power draw, then it's going to turn itself off. A cool new thing they've added to this is standby power value, and we can tell it how many watts we want to count as passive or active use. So if we're pulling more than 20 watts, it's going to say, oh, you're actively using the van. We're not going to do this timeout function. But if you're pulling less than 20 watts, oh, you're not actively using the van. And we're going to, after 4 hours, we're going to shut everything off to keep you from over depleting the system. It's a pretty cool granular feature. And that's one of the cool things about these updates is that it's constantly improving the system and adding features. All right. The last thing I want to point out is if you scroll all the way down and go to this about, this is where you're going to do your software updates. So I do recommend actively checking for software updates kind of on the regular. If you're going to go on a big trip or you're using the van pretty regularly, I would log in once a month and just see if there's an update. They're constantly fixing little things in the system, adding little improvements to the system that are generally quality of life things and make the experience a little bit nicer. The other thing is, if I ever have any kind of issue with this system and it seems like it's doing something funny, if I check for an update, I guarantee there's an update. And once I do that update, it kind of solves that issue. I've had some time where like it just wouldn't let me activate 12 volts for some reason. I did an update and boom, everything worked just fine. I've also been able to do these updates through the hotspot on my phone. So even if I'm somewhere remote and I don't have like a secure wireless connection, I can link it to my phone, I can do an update, and I can kind of refresh that system. The last thing on this main front display is the sensor area here. And this is something I am not starting to use yet. So this is a place we can hardwire sensors into the system, things like water tank level, gray water levels, things like that. And I don't know a ton about it, to be honest, just because I haven't started actively using it yet. So maybe on my next build, I'll add something like that and get some tank sensors in there so we can see our water level right here from this panel. Be a cool feature, but it's not something I've done personally yet. So maybe stay tuned and we'll have an update video on that. So now is the time in the video where we want to hear from you. Do you think the EcoFlow Power Kit is a good system for a van? Or do you think it's better to kind of home build your own system from individual pieces and parts? I definitely want to hear your thoughts because it took me a little while to come around to this one. So I want to hear what you think. Let us know in the comments below. If you do want to put a system like this in your van, we have a link for that and it helps support us. So go ahead and hit that link in the description below and we can get one of these power kits sent out for you and your van build. If you want to get a van professionally built by AVC, go ahead and hit the link in the description below. We can get your project started. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video.